Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our weekly call. Super excited for our guest speaker today. And I wanted to just share with you guys, I had a great idea this morning, and I want to see if you guys think it's a great idea as well. So on these calls, what I would love to start doing, and I can share the majority of the weeks, but if you guys have something to share, I would love for you guys to prepare something as well. But I was thinking of for 10 minutes out of these calls, because I want these calls to be something that you can walk away and have something juicy, right? Have something that you can walk away and start doing immediately. And so I have something that I'd like to share with you guys today. It's around AI and ChatGPT, because you guys know I'm cracking out on that right now. But I wanted to see if that is something that y'all would be interested in or find value in. Each week have just a 10-minute session on something that you can actually walk away and do right then and there. And I would be asking for you guys to help me with this. And so let's say, Doug, you're really good at something that you can do a screen share and show us how to do it. Or like, Tiffany did that one about realtor.com, just about how to get your reviews up on realtor.com, something that just takes a few minutes, but it's a very, very high impact. What do y'all think about that? Just like
Awesome.
thumbs
Yes.
up.
Right.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Well, we'll put that into place then. I will save the last 10 minutes of today to go through what I want to go through with you guys, because it's super exciting. So I want to go ahead and have Jason and Susan come on, and I want to introduce them. As I know that some of you have met Jason and Susan probably on Zoom only, because they are out in the Colorado area. And so I met them by Susie, actually. She was doing some Google searching and found out that I was a traveling realtor, and she wanted to be a traveling realtor. So now Susie's a traveling realtor as well. And they bought a place in Belize as well. And I've helped them start their midterm rental business in Colorado. So they have, I don't know, 4 or 5 properties now in Colorado. But they owned they still own a real estate firm. And Jason's been in the business for 23 years. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And he has a small team there in Denver. He brought his entire brokerage over. He brought his whole team over. And they went to shareholders last week. And so they're going to share some nuggets they walked away with. And then also some nuggets about the eXp luxury division, which is a newer division for us here at eXp. And there's some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. So welcome, Jason and Susan.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. Great to see you. Hi, everybody. Hey, Susie, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody, kind of how we got into luxury with eXp. Start there.
Well, it's kind of funny because Jason is a machine. He just keeps on working. And then I'm the idea person. So we're definitely like a yin and yang couple. And, he's had a license for over 20 years. I just got mine last year, but I've always helped him with his marketing and his networking and the events and everything. So now that I had my license, I really kind of dove into the midterm rentals. We have a couple of Airbnbs, which are short-term rentals and stuff. So I just watched Jason sell houses, and he was average. I mean, his listings probably are averaging about 850 to $1 million, I guess. And so I just
average price for sale price is probably 860, something like that. I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, but he got these great $1 million listings, and I'm all about.
There is a caveat to that, which is the price point in Colorado is pretty high. I mean, I'm looking at track homes. I just put one under contract last night in an area here called Highlands Ranch, which is a suburb of Denver. And it's like a 4,500 square foot track home built by Richmond, but it's, we're under contract at 989. So to give you a sense. So that's when we grew up, where I grew up here, that wasn't luxury. And we'll get into that here in a minute, but that does kind of inflate that average price per sale. That's kind of separate from the luxury division. I think it's just a function of what the market is here in Colorado.
I just thought that he needed more marketing ideas. And so I researched the luxury program at eXp, and I was like, oh my gosh, they would make him look like a superstar. Not that he's not to me, but I had him join the luxury because he has a great listing in Cherry Hills, which is like $6.2 million. And I felt that he needed to go back and show the owner what we were doing as far as marketing and getting his house sold. So, he joined the luxury program, and we went to shareholders, and the collaboration within eXp is fantastic, but within the luxury program, because it is so new and so small, it was phenomenal. I mean, I could say we walked away with some friends, but it's something that we could take and show our clients, and Jason grew up within that area of Denver, and he could talk the talk and walk the walk. And so I just really feel like that's something that we needed to explore a little bit more. So
for those of us like that don't know, let's just act like a lot of us on the call didn't even know that eXp had a luxury division, right? So what is that? What does that even mean?
It's a great question. It's new. I think as of like October, they just started rolling it out, last October 22. And essentially it's $2,500 to become a member. You have to have a prerequisite of production in luxury range that you either have to substantiate to them from historical MLS data of your comp sales, or you have to take this program and you can go through it. You can achieve the luxury designation, I think, that way also. When Susie started to explore it, like she mentioned, we had a big $6.2 million listing in Cherry Hills. I've sold a lot of luxury properties from the beginning of my career. I was a project manager for a builder that built $1 million plus homes in Denver. And so so you can achieve this designation through eXp, but really, like Susie was saying, I think the benefit is not so much the designation as it is kind of networking and rubbing elbows with other people, that are in that market, because it's a real finite market. And some people might say, well, $2,500 is, it's a pricey entrance fee. But I can understand why they do that, because the ilk of the buyer and seller in that of the agents that they're representing, that's the entrance fee to just get to be able to play in that circle. With that, you get a lot of separate branding, marketing. There are some really amazing tools that they're developing with like a concierge service for our listings, to be syndicated to Wall Street Journal, Barron's, another among other very large luxury publications where luxury homeowners and home buyers go first to look for luxury real estate. And so in addition to Facebook marketing and other platforms that will market our listings and connect buyers with sellers globally through eXp's 88,000 agents and network. So I think the value's there. I've sold luxury, like I mentioned, from the beginning of my career, and never. And I was with Coldwell Banker, and they had a luxury division called Previews, and I was with Keller Williams, and Keller Williams had a luxury division also. I never paid to be a part of any of those organizations because I didn't believe that they had the reach that eXp has and the network. And so we're really excited about it. And what's, I think, even more of value than where the publications are, where the listings are getting publicized, is the fact that we can share these marketing reports and the views and hits of people that are seeing this marketing in those various publications and share those with our clients so that they see that the marketing is effectual and that that their listing isn't just sitting there. You know what the old Keller adage was, there's the 3 P's of real estate. We put it on the market, we put a sign in the yard, and then we pray that it's going to sell. And then their fourth was this script is, we do the 4th P, which nobody talks about, which is we actively prospect around your listing. So, there is some real tangible benefit to this and that prospecting in not only the publications that we reach, but like Susan had mentioned, in Shareholder Summit and the eXp events where we actually get to rub elbows with other luxury brokers, and maybe procure a buyer or put a connection together within that program.
Wonderful. I love that. Does anyone have any questions about the luxury program before we just let them go with all of it?
Yeah, I wonder how much you're going to cover on it, but what publications and how do you track that reach?
So I can share with my screen with you if you guys are interested in seeing something.
Yeah, let's see it. Leah, if you could give him co-host.
Yeah, this is really cool. This marketing tool, and what I'm going to do is I'll let you guys peek behind the curtain with me here so that you can kind of see, what, and I'm sure they could take you on a demo of it too, but you'll see here that, let me just get some of these windows out of here. But bottom line is, can everybody see all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're in Okta, right, there's these luxury tabs down here. So luxury listing site, luxury brand store. So this is actually going to be more, let's see here. This is going to be more, swag. So you can see that their branding, their logos, etc. This is a resource page, but this is the one I kind of want to show you. This is really cool. So, and I'll show you why it's cool, because of what it generates. So if you're going to go on a listing presentation for a luxury listing, you can come in here and you can enter all these fields. You can take let's say it's an expired something that was a takeaway from the Shareholder Summit was that one agent had picked up. So when they had boosted their posts through KV Core. Have you guys ever boosted a post through KV Core? So this is my listing on Downing Street. Okay. We just dropped the price on this, but you can boost it right here. And when you boost that property, so there was an agent, one of the takeaways was one of the agents at Shareholder Summit boosted their property, and there's certain things you can do in here. You can pay like $250. What do you get? Automatically market all stages of your listings life cycle. Your ad runs for 4 weeks, updated your listing changes. Ad will be seen about 8,000 times. Add 40 to 50 contacts to your database. So when she boosted this, she heard about this nugget at Shareholder Summit, went back to her hotel room, boosted one of her luxury listings, and ended up with 5 potential leads and 1 buyer, which she started working with right away. So if that's not a nugget, I don't know what is. But going back to this presentation creator, so this is kind of the luxury. So when you can get a photo of, let's say, a listing that you called and expired on. It was a luxury listing that expired, and you called, and they would take a meeting with you. You can get a photo of that, online somehow, or you can go take one, and you can upload it into here, and it will create a presentation for you. Let me see if I can find here. It'll create a presentation. Let's see here. That's not it. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I had a bunch of things happening. So
while you're looking, I'm just gonna say, like, a lot of people may look at that they're not utilizing KV Core to its full potential. But the thing is if you think about it, like $250, but that's $250 on a $6.7 million listing. Right?
Yeah,
So
right, exactly. And by the way, just real quick, Leah, I want to give a shout out to Leah because my client on this $6.2 million listing, I've sold property for him a number of times in the past and helped him buy stuff. And he needs to sell this house. So when I met with him, I told him what we were going to do, and we weren't a member of the luxury department yet. And in fact, I wasn't even really aware of it. And so there were some things that happened with communication, and he got nervous that he had picked the wrong broker in me to sell his house because I was overwhelmed with phone calls and stuff. And I was, I guess, frankly, a little bit cavalier about, dates and when things were going to happen. And even though I had kind of communicated that to him and told him that, he didn't really hear me. So I didn't do a good job. And he was about to yank the listing. And so I called Leah, or Susie did, and she's like, because I was just like, well, I guess it is what it is. And, he's going to move on. And Susie's like, you need to fight for this thing. What?
I said, no way. We got to think outside the box and you utilize our resources because we have a lot more than we did in the past. So that's when we reached Leah.
So Susie, she got Leah on the phone, and Leah gave us some great ideas about the conversation that we needed to have with him before we just, threw our hands up. And Leah, I just want to give you a big shout out to let you know how much we appreciated that phone conversation. I know I've communicated this to you already, but I just wanted to do it in front of everybody and let you know that you're a true resource, and the guidance and just kind of being able to step back and not being in the middle of something and have an objective perspective really helped us get this listing and get him taken care of. And he's really happy, and we've done a very good job for him. So
my pleasure. Always my pleasure.
Thanks a lot. All right. So I found what I was looking for. So so when you're in luxury, when you go into my listings, okay, you can activate a listing. And so your listings will show up right here if you have any upcoming listings. Once you're in here, and once they pull over and they syndicate, then you can see how this is, it auto-populates a large portion of it, but you can upload virtual tours. This is your seller media kit, and this is what I'm getting to with you guys. But you can do videos, MP4s, you could do drone footage, and you can get all of this stuff uploaded. Now, once you do, this is what it becomes. Where did it go now? Where'd I go? Oh, I'm sorry. This is it. So, and this is what's so cool, because this is what you can, aside from the initial listing presentation, that you can create this brochure. And it has, the reason I'm showing you both is because it kind of has both of them in here. But in this email, you can see, so the pre-listing presentation has a lot of the same data, like where are you going to be advertised? And so once you're active though, and you take the listing, then you can send this to your client, right? And then they can, they'll see this. They'll also see what you can send it to prospective buyers, and you can see your videos, all your photos, your Matterport tour is in here, for example. And you can walk through the house, I'm sure everybody's already kind of seen a lot of this technology before. So there's that, but also this is what I found just so cool, is that here is where because your seller's like, yeah, all that looks really cool. I love the fact I've seen Matterport, especially if they're luxury, they've seen all this stuff before. But what they haven't seen is where are you being advertised? Like a lot of people know probably Sotheby's, and like I mentioned, Coldwell Banker Previews, and there's other luxury firms. But what's their reach? And so this is a way that you can really show your client, like Rob Report, for example, you can show your client, this is your property being marketed in Rob Report, where the world's highest end buyers and sellers are going to look for cars, yachts, aviation. I mean, this is cool. So eXp Luxury pays for us, to be in these publications. And then they'll tell you how many views you got from that period of time. And they send this out every week. So you can use it as a marketing tool to say, all right, look, and I did with my guy the other day. I was like, hey, look, we've been on the market with this for 2 weeks and we haven't had any listing views in the last 7 days. And since then, just yesterday, I just got a price reduction on the property, which is going to be, I think, helpful. It's going to kind of get us back into the a range where other homes that are selling for. So that just kind of gives you, it's a very kind of brief and basic overview. But it gives you a sense of what do you get for your money? What kind of exposure and what kind of idea share do you get for your client and for your business?
The idea share is really important because what we took back from the shareholders event with the guy from New York, remember him, Jason? He actually
James.
So he sent expired listings. So what he did is he took a picture of an expired listing and then sent it to the owner. And that's how he got that listing. That was his first sell with eXp. Period.
Yeah. James May, M-A-Y is his name. He's in New York. And really nice guy. And that's the other thing about this is, a lot of people that are they're like, oh, luxury, their nose up and, maybe a little highbrow or whatever. But that wasn't my impression at all. These people are all cool. They're down to earth. I mean,
he was a stay-at-home dad, which was really cool before.
Yeah, good dude.
Just had just an idea, and now he actually sells and helps buy real estate to a lot of athletes over there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people get in their head like luxury is, and that's kind of why I brought up that $1 million price point here in Denver, or what the average sale point. Because I saw Leah shaking her head like, yeah, don't downplay that. And I'm not. But I think sometimes I will say that people get in their heads that, maybe they can't do luxury or that it's above where they were socioeconomically, or that maybe they didn't have the experience in it. So there's a fear attached to that. And I'd say get rid of that, man, because these are people, they're just like everybody else. They got to put their pants on one leg at a time. And, their careers or their, history, financial well-being is really, just a component of their experience, but they're looking for people that are going to help them. And so you could hire as one of these people, it birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. There's a lot of realtors that are in this subculture and they, make a living doing this, but anybody can do it as long as you have the energy and the drive to really communicate well with them and share with them what your value proposition is to help them sell their property. Because at the end of the day, $6.2 million house, it's really not any different than selling a $500,000 house. It's just a lot more square footage, except for the marketing. You've got to spend more marketing dollars on it, and you've got to reach the right people. And, just throwing it on Zillow is, not going to be something that your seller is going to be looking for, because, they may look at Zillow for their home values, but Zillow may not even know how to calculate the value of a $6.2 million house, because there aren't really any comps. So it's a kind of a feel, but that's where you need to substantiate with them. Where am I selling it? What am I doing above, a Sotheby's or, whatever these other companies are that may not even have the reach or the technology that eXp is investing in to be able to provide that exposure for these people. So there's a real opportunity for here at eXp with this luxury division for not only for luxury agents and people with other companies that don't have this technology that we could probably win over to this, but also for agents that haven't done luxury before, because it's kind of packaged in a way that it's set up where if you get a listing like this, they can make you look real good real fast.
This is great information, Jason and Susan. Are there any questions about this? I love to see behind the scenes. You guys like that? Yeah, it's good.
Is that helpful? Is that helpful, everybody? What other questions do you have that would, I'm happy I'm an open book. I'll share with you whatever you ask.
Do you recommend doing, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you recommend doing the highest boost on the KV Core boost campaign stuff? Do you recommend doing the 250 no matter what the price point is, or does it matter the price point?
Well, I think it does matter. And I think it just, and I'm just speaking from my market. So I'm kind of market centric, right? But I think that it does matter because if I have a, $750,000 house that's priced well in a good location with great condition, it's going to sell like that. So, spending $250 on that listing when it's going to sell before it may generate the activity or the leads that I hope it will. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. Plus, keep in mind that here in Colorado, the inventory is pretty low. So things are selling fast. And if I had a bunch of buyer leads are great, but it's hard, to manage them without people to give them to, if you're driving all these people around, because there's only limited inventory that everybody's scrapping over. So it's tough to, they might not find a house right away. So, there's kind of a couple things there. When you're spending marketing dollars, I'm more, I think, conservative because I want to make sure I'm going to get the most bang for my buck. Maybe you dip your toe in the water at one of the lower levels for a lower price listing first and see what kind of leads you get out of that. Now, as far as a bigger luxury listing, yeah, I'd spend the $250 like right away, because you're going to get less reach anyway and fewer leads coming in because of just the nature of how many people can afford, $5, $6, $7, $10 million house. So those leads are probably going to be smaller. They're going to be fewer, and they're also going to be more targeted. But you got to spend more money to probably get in front of those people.
Another thing that happened, because Jason joined the luxury department, was that he got an email from the luxury for the state of Colorado. So all the brokerages have, they belong to an organization here, and they go on tours. They meet every week, but then they go on a tour of 8 different houses every month. So they asked Jason if he wanted to join that group, and we were going to have a broker open and then, pay all this money for food and everything. But this company's actually going to do a tour tomorrow, and we're going to have like 30 luxury agents go through the house. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It's really cool. Really excited about that. I know the broker who kind of heads it up. He's a Remax guy. So it's not just within eXp. So again, it's that networking, that exposure, that, you're setting a precedent that, this is what you do. And these are, and so I think it opens doors even for things that we didn't anticipate were going to happen. We're really excited about tomorrow. It's going to be a cool event.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you know if they're doing that in different markets as well?
I don't know. I know the guy, Rick Palace is his name. He's a Remax guy. Like I said, I've done deals with him down in Castle Pines. But that's a great question. I'll ask him tomorrow, Amanda, and find out. I would like to know the answer to that too, because maybe if you know, if they're not, you know, that would be something fun to start. For
Yeah,
sure.
especially for the luxury division, right? Just to have that as like an EXP event, but invite all agents. That would be very beneficial, I believe, in marketing and
You
networking.
know, maybe just as a thought, we're just kind of kicking the tires on it. That would be cool to do. And like, you know, where Peter Liu in Orlando, he's become our friend. You introduced us to him. Thank you, Amanda, for that, because we actually had dinner with him that night at the luxury retreat, and what a nice guy. Super energetic, and he spoke and was on stage a number of times, and very vibrant and alluring, charismatic person. So thanks for that introduction, and cool to meet him. But you know, maybe when they do these luxury events at these locales where we do shareholder summit or EXPCon or whatever, maybe peel off and do a luxury tour for those agents in the cities that they're hosting these conventions. It'd be kind of cool to maybe set something like that up too.
Yeah, so when I was KW, we were at one of our conventions, and they actually hosted an open house at one of the luxury houses, right? And so they had food and all this stuff, and the lenders were actually the ones who sponsored it. They had Mercedes out front and limousines, and they brought us in on these beautiful buses. Like, there's ways to do it. It just, you know, if you know that there's going to be some type of event like that, and the owner of the house is willing to let you do it, it's a great way to get other agents in there, and also to have conversations with those agents.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, the thing with that is in meeting these guys like Peter and James, like we talked about here, you know, they're guys like I am, you know, and they have wives that work in their business. You know, James or Peter Liu's wife works in his business with him. She does, you know, a lot of, she's an amazing person. And so
She's a therapist.
for the agents, like, we need it. And so, you know, they're family people. And like I said, they're, you know, for people that aren't in that subculture or whatever that is, they just assume that it's maybe out of reach or whatever. But when you get to meet them and you get to see them as people, and there's going to be something that comes out of there. I mean, I get somebody moving to New York and they're buying a $2-3 million flat or something like that. Guess who I'm calling? You know, or somebody moving to Orlando, that, because, you know, Susie and I are looking at you know, real estate in other areas too. And, you know, guess who's going to get those calls? It's the people that we're meeting, but it's on a different level than just networking with, you know, all these agents, you know, every other agent, because they actually put some marketing dollars to be a part of something that's, I think, a little bit more, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Exclusive. And it's okay, you know, but that's why they want to do it that way. And that's why there is a fee attached to it. But yeah, man, those leads that when they come out of there, and they will over time, you know, that's probably, you know, do the math on it, 3% on a $1 million house, and $1 million house doesn't get you that much in Colorado that much anymore. So people are buying $3, $4, $5 million houses. That's real money, man, for just getting a chance to meet some people and becoming friends with them, and helping them and keeping them top of mind, and having them keep you top of mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Establishing relationships. And with these big listings, and this is one of the things I was talking to Eric about too, is that broker opens are actually better than open houses, right? Because the broker opens are going to bring you the people that know the people who are buying these price points. So having events and that kind of thing, with even just doing a broker open or inviting the neighbors, like, you know, pick your new neighbor. Who do they know that can afford this house, right? So there's ways
That's
to
a
think
good point.
outside the box with this one.
And to piggyback on that a little bit, Leah, when they come through tomorrow, 30, 40 agents, and they have a listing, a luxury listing, because there's 6 other homes on that tour. And, you know, those buyers come through because it's the same group of buyers because these are area specific. So that buyer comes through, and, you know, I know one of the brokers that's, you know, has her house on the tour, and we talked yesterday, and, you know, I know her house is coming soon tomorrow, and she's going to put it on. she's going to have buyers coming through there. And, you know, and their feedback may be like, nah, not so much. You know, we don't love, you know, we don't love this or that about it, but what we're really looking for is this. And then she's like, oh, Jason has that listing up on 4747 South Downey. So, oh, you should go check his out. You know, I mean, it's just being top of mind. It's that
Yeah,
network.
and it's feeding each other and helping each other, because then those people also become agents that you can bring over at some point if they're, you know, it's establishing the relationship. But like there was a time where we did 42 open houses in the same day, and we put them all on a map, right? So same thing you're doing, but not as many. But yeah, absolutely. My house doesn't work, but guess what? Susie's house works, or guess what? Amanda's house works. And you refer those houses back and forth to each other, it becomes a relationship.
Good stuff.
It really is. Eric is pretty big into marketing luxury. Eric, do you have any questions or comments as to any of this? And then we'll let them share about shareholders.
No, but a cool thing about, I know you guys talking about Property Boost. If you come up with cool videos like YouTube, I was just looking at your YouTube video, you could come up with something really nice with this, especially if you're marketing a $6 million property. Like, put together a budget. I mean, at least I would be. I'd put together, you know, a $4,000 or $5,000 budget for just video. And boost it, because not boost it, but on YouTube, you can target within 2-mile radius of this property. So all the neighbors, if you put out a badass video, all the neighbors are going to see your face in this house. And they're like, wow, look at what Jason's doing for this property right down the street. But you could target within 2-mile radius of this property for people that live in that area. So I think that's another way to generate additional leads when you have a luxury listing, you know?
That's really cool. I'm not the best with technology. I mean, I don't know. I'd love for maybe to, as a side chat sometime, maybe you could show me a little bit more about how to put something like that together.
Yeah, and check out, I mean, none of the properties that I'm marketing right now are my listings, but they're other people's listings. But they're getting a lot of views just from, I'm following all these other YouTubers that are pretty good with the home tours and stuff. It's something I'm doing that's of value, but I see what eXp is doing here, which is really nice to see too, to like just an additional benefit to say, hey, your house is going to be in the Wall Street Journal or something. That's really cool to see too. But that's just all additional stuff to do.
That's
Can
cool.
you share your YouTube channel with us?
Yeah, it's I'll put it in the chat. It's,
Okay.
Raleigh.luxury.listings on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe. I am like 15 people away from 1,000, so trying to get to 1,000.
Cool. Yeah, I'll subscribe to that. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
and
I'll share that out.
Staircase.
Yeah,
12
and
foot pitch
and
high.
the one other thing, I'm actually luxury certified as well. And the one other thing is that, you know, you really have to be careful with your pictures and your marketing and what you're putting out there. Like, I love Eric's stuff. He knows what he's doing with it. Jason, I've seen your stuff as well. You can't just, you know, we got to take drone pictures at night if they have a pool in the backyard and that kind of stuff. Like, you really have to put the money into it. That $250 is nothing on a $6.7 million house. So
I actually had them come back 3 times and shoot different times of the day because the light in that house, it shows dark. And when the house sold, like 6 years ago to my guy, it was on the market for a long time. And I did all the research on the history of the home and how it sold and how not sold and
yeah,
whatnot.
you got to be really careful with your
The
pictures.
feedback was
like I
that
said, I've had people pull Mercedes in the front that
Yeah.
they rented for the day just to sell that house. But I mean, if you put in perspective you know, again, I'm not talking about $500,000 houses. I'm talking about 6.7, you know, and 500 or 5 point whatever. You got to look at what you're marketing to and the market that you're marketing to. And yes, they are people, and a lot of them are very humble and very normal. But they live a certain lifestyle. There's a reason that they make the money that they make to be able to afford that house, right? So we have to market to that. And that's one of the things that when I got luxury trained, that they told us, like, show your marketing has to be as pristine as the house. Let's put it that way. So that's just one thing you have to think about when you're doing these houses. Like, you can't just put a sign in the yard and say house for sale for 1.2 million. That's not going to work.
You can't drive up in a 2008 Nissan Armada.
Oh my God. One thing that's funny that happened is that we had the drone photography scheduled on that particular house. And the guy had a birthday party for his twins the Sunday before, and the drone photography was like Monday. And I get there Monday morning, like 2 hours before the drone is going to show up. And there's like Mylar balloons trapped in all these trees because from the party they'd flown up there. And I was like, crap. And I was up on this ladder with this landscaper with like a 15-foot pole that was, extension, like an extension for a roller, a paint roller. And like, it was like a circus act. Like I'm on this guy's shoulders and he's like, it was crazy to get these things down. So they didn't show in the drone footage. And actually we only got one of them down. So they kind of do. And that's what I told my client, because he was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, well, these photos last forever. Once we do this, they're online. So yeah, you're right. You gotta, those are the details you gotta pay so closely attention to.
Yeah, and it's like even little things like making sure the toilet seats are down and the garbage cans are out of the picture and the dog bowls are out of the picture. Like, you got a $6-point-something million house. You better make sure the toilet seats are down and there's no dog bowls in the picture.
That was my.
Yeah.
I mean, my photographer, even on a $200,000 house, would take the toilet paper off the toilet roll, right? And would move all of that stuff out of the picture. Would make sure that there's no shampoo in the showers. There's no, like, everything gets moved.
12-foot kitchen island.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
That's Eric's YouTube channel.
I know, I clicked the link so I had it up in my browser so I could go look at it when we're done.
Yeah, but like that, it's some of those little details that make a big difference, because people also are looking at whether or not the house has been maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's fact.
All right, we are coming up. We got about 10 minutes left. But I do want you guys to share, I guess, your top takeaways, benefits from going to shareholders, and then just leave me like 5 minutes to share what I want to share today.
I just think that the collaboration from everybody was fantastic, and I went back to Colorado pumped. So, I just, we got this office that we're getting ready to add more agents. So, we just hired a new guy to come on board with us, and we just want to grow our business. So it was inspirational. We're going to take a few of them to Las Vegas with us in October. So we're excited.
Yeah, we're excited to grow and to share what we learn. Anytime you go to a conference like that, there's a million different ideas that a million people do, and they do them well. And it's easy to get kind of like, a little scatterbrained about it. So my goal was to take one thing back and I listened to, I saw like, I have notes, but the big thing was that property boost and for me. And then obviously the relationships. So it was we're so excited to be here and grateful for Amanda, you and Leah and all the people that we're meeting.
One thing at a time.
We're excited to share everything that we can with our agents here and other people.
We are. I mean, we were before, like, I felt like we were on an island by ourselves because we were our own brokerage and everything. And there's so much to learn. that it is exciting.
Well, super happy to have you guys. You guys bring a ton of knowledge and expertise, and we love it. So we love you, and yeah, it's going to be a great year.
It has been. It's been a good year.
Yes, absolutely. Very good. All right. Any questions for Susie and Jason? Doesn't look like it. All right, Leah, if you can make me co-host now, I'll be quick with this, but I think the majority of you are using ChatGPT. If you're not, can you just like open your mic and say no? So I don't like talk over something that you don't understand. Is everyone using ChatGPT?
I don't know what that is.
Are really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
AI? Okay.
No, I know what it is. I don't, I mean, I wouldn't know where to find it or anything. I have no idea.
Okay.
Baby
So-
steps, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why Amanda posted the other day or something. She was like, and I'm like, oh, well, I need help with what? Give me a break.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so ChatGPT is AI. It's artificial intelligence. Okay, it came out in what, March, maybe January, I think March. But this has been something that's been a game changer for my rental business, and I know for a lot of other agents as well. And I can show you all kinds of stuff on this, but I'm just going to teach you one thing today. I'm going to do like one thing a week to make it super simple. Think about ChatGPT as someone that you can tell exactly who you want it to be, and then it knows everything, and you can actually have a conversation with it. So you can go back, you can ask it questions. It can get to know you and your business, all of that. So the one thing that I want to share with you today is I'm in an AI mastermind, and part of our mastermind today was really honing in on who is your avatar. So who is your perfect ideal client? Who is it that you sell houses to, right? So think about that. So you could do this. I sell real estate. All right. So you're telling it what you do. My typical purchaser is a retirement-aged couple moving to Raleigh from California to be closer to their kids who have great jobs in Raleigh and their grandkids. Their household income is $150,000 plus a year, and they are a homeowner in California and will need to sell their house and buy in Raleigh for all cash. Tell me 5 things about my avatar that you think might also be true. So based on the information provided there, it tells me that they value family connections since they're moving here to be closer to their children. It tells me that they have financial stability. They have their income, but they also, they may value investments. They include purchasing a new home in Raleigh with all cash. So this is someone who's going to be able to sell their California house, have enough cash to come here and purchase cash. And they're probably going to need to buy a couple of properties, because they could sell a California property for 2 or 3 million and come here and buy a house for 500,000 to 800,000 and have leftover cash to buy more properties for investment purposes. Number 3, they appreciate quality of life. So this is saying the decision to move to Raleigh from California could be driven by a desire for a better quality of life. Raleigh offers a more affordable cost of living compared to some parts of California, and it provides access to amenities, climate, community, all of that. Number 4, they are active retirees. Retiring to Raleigh indicates that they may have an active lifestyle and enjoy engaging in various activities. They might be interested in exploring the city's recreation opportunities, or such as parks, outdoor activities, events, and communities, right? Number 5, they value home ownership. As a homeowner in California, they likely see the benefit of owning a property and are looking to continue that ownership in Raleigh. So what would you think we would be wanting to ask this if it knew everything about my avatar? So I would say, what's the best way to market to this buyer. And so it's going to tell me what I need to highlight when I'm doing my marketing to them. It's going to tell me what to focus on. Okay, so this is saying emphasize on the city's strong sense of community, family-oriented neighborhoods, the schools, the parks, all of that. Showcase how living in Raleigh can provide a fulfilling and enriching environment for their children and grandchildren, because they're going to be wanting to take their kids to the park, right? Number 2, focus on the financial advantages. So go over the cost of living, the affordable housing, lower taxes. They're going to love that. Lower property taxes. They're going to love that. The financial benefits of owning. All right. And then number 3, showcase the quality of life. So the climate here, the culture here, the recreational opportunities again. Museums, art galleries, theaters, local events. Again, they're going to be thinking, what am I going to be able to do with my children and my grandchildren when I'm there? And then the benefits of homeownership again here. So position the homeownership as a smart investment and a way to establish roots in Raleigh. Highlight the long-term financial stability it can offer and how to build equity over time. And I would really concentrate on that whole sell 1 buy 3 type of thing. If they're in California, right? Sell your one house that you live in, which is a liability in California because you're paying property taxes, and come and buy in North Carolina, and you can buy your liability, which is your own home. And then you can go and invest into other properties, which are going to be assets for you, which are going to pay you an additional few $1,000s a month per property because you're buying them cash, right? So building that as a story and as something that you can actually write like an article about or something. And then, okay, so you got all that. So you can think about all of that. And then I would say, what keywords are these buyers searching for on Google? Whoops. All right, so they're searching retirement-friendly neighborhoods in Raleigh, affordable housing in Raleigh, Raleigh real estate for retirees, best place to retire in Raleigh, da-da-da. You guys get the picture, okay? So now I'm going to say thank you, because we want to be nice to the AI. Now, write me a blog using the above information and include keywords. I want to post this blog on social media. Or let's say I want to post this blog on my website, because you guys all know you can post blogs on your KV Core website, right? On my website to drive SEO traffic from Google to my website. Please write the article in my tone. So my tone means the way that I've been asking questions is like my writing style, right? So here, they give you a title: Relocate to Raleigh, a dream retirement destination for California couples. And then it goes through all of this introduction, and then family-friendly atmosphere, strong community, financial advantages and affordable housing, unparalleled quality of life, investment potential and home ownership. And then you've got your conclusion. Now, what I would do is I would go and I would copy all of this. I would put it into a Word document, and then I would go in and I would edit and I would add the part about, selling one house, buying 3 houses, right? I would also add the part that I am a licensed agent with my firm, and that, let's just say this. I'm also a licensed agent and would love to add the fact that I want to help them find their dream home. Also, okay, let's just leave it like that. All right, so it's going to rewrite the article, and it's going to gear it towards them wanting to use me as their real estate agent. So this is all, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'll post this in the Facebook group so you guys can go through and read what it comes up with, because it's pretty impressive. But just know that it's an AI technology. It's a robot, right? It's smarter than we are, but it also needs to have a little bit of your voice in it. And until you use this software a lot, the software is not going to understand your voice. Now you can go and you can post things that you've personally written in the software and it will remember that. But that's another conversation. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Did that help? Questions?
Neat.
Pretty cool, huh? Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, I like that chat. It's a fun tool to use.
I did hear
Yes.
somewhere where somebody said that people are going to start plagiarizing
Yep.
MLS like listing details that were crafted by agents. Like, I take a lot of pride in that, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a thing of the past now, because they're just gonna copy yours, put it in there, and then I'll retool it for theirs, and it'll work.
I've already heard of a number of agents doing that, that they just write me a description for this property and it'll write it for them.
Well, I have all of my property descriptions rewritten with AI.
Sweet.
It actually wrote all of my descriptions for all the properties I listed last week. So, you know, it's amazing. You literally just feed it. I'm sorry, Aaron. I put you on speaker here so you could hear this. So right here, you know, this is, please write me a Facebook, or this is a Facebook, an ad for a new furnished rental that we came up with. But I tell it all about the property. I tell it what it's, you know, near, and then I ask it to write me a whole description about it. You guys play around on this. I'm telling you, it is game changer. It is life-changing stuff.
Do you pay for a subscription, Amanda? Or how does it remember your voice? Because every time I do it, I'm a guest, so it's free, but then it won't remember my voice from last time.
Yeah, so you have to pay $20 a month in order to be a member of it, if you want it to remember you and your, like I've gone in and I've named these certain AIs to be things for me. Like I have Allie who writes all of my copy, right? For all of my listing descriptions. I have, you know, someone else that I use, someone else. I'm already referring to them as like people. That's so weird. But like different chat bots that are doing different things for me. And so I've done a lot of stuff on this. Aaron and I are, that's actually who I have a call with right now. But Aaron and I are doing another event on June 14th. June 14th, teaching more about AI. And we've done a few other AI classes. Tiffany did an AI class for us, I think last month or month before last. So just dig into this, guys, because everyone's, if they're not using it already, they're going to be using it. And it's either we have to use it and do it and learn how to use it and be nice with it, or it's going to take over us. And it's scary at the ability that it can have on us. So
Terminator's becoming a reality.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, I have so many people joining the meeting right now. What is going on with our time zones? All right, so the meeting is
It still shows on
Wednesday.
your thing at 1 o'clock for some reason.
That's weird. Okay. Oh my gosh. For those of you joining, Evan, Maria, Tony, for those of you joining now, it was an hour ago. So so Leah will post the recording. And I don't know why that's doing that. I'll go check that. I'm super sorry. I see Tony's own from Portugal and I wanted to have a conversation with you, Tony. But I'm actually running to another meeting right now. So Tony, let's connect for sure. And for those of you that did jump on today, I am it was great to see you. And thank you, Jason and Susan, for all of your amazingness when it comes to luxury real estate within eXp.
Thank you. As soon as it downloads, I will put it on our Facebook page.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for this opportunity, Amanda. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.